Listen carefully, because what you are about to receive is no ordinary message. It is a call from on high, a cry that has been echoing in heaven, seeking to reach you. For a long time, someone in heaven has been desperately trying to capture your attention. It is no coincidence that you are here at this very moment. It is no coincidence that your eyes are seeing these words, that your heart is beating to the rhythm of this revelation. I've spoken to you in 1,000 different ways. In the early morning hours, when you woke for no apparent reason and felt a weight on your chest that you couldn't explain. In those moments of silence, where something inside you screamed, even though your mouth remained closed. I've spoken through everyday situations that seemed insignificant but bore my signature. In the words of people who passed through your path as unknowing messengers, in dreams that you dismissed as mere unimportant thoughts, when in reality they were open windows from my throne to your soul. I've tried to knock on the doors of your heart with subtle signs, with gentle warnings, with soul-stirring impulses you felt like premonitions. But your mind has been so immersed in busyness, so distracted by the tasks of daily life, so caught up in the constant noise of the world, that you've failed to notice the urgency of my voice. You've been running, always running, running after goals others said were important, running to keep up appearances, running to stay ahead in a race I never designed for you. And in this constant rush, without realizing it, you drifted away from the sound of my voice. You drifted away from the heavenly frequency that your spirit recognizes as home. You were so focused on solving everything on your own, on standing firm in your own strength, on not falling, on not failing, that you forgot something fundamental. I am the one who sustains your life. Every breath you take is because I allow it. Every beat of your heart is because I decree it. You are not here by accident. You did not arrive at this day by your own strength. You forgot that there is a deeper voice that calls to you from eternity, a voice that doesn't shout but resonates in the deepest caverns of your being. And though you have been spiritually blind, though you have sleepwalked through your own life, I have never stopped guiding you. My hand has been upon you even when you didn't feel it. My presence surrounded you in your darkest nights, even when you thought you were completely alone, abandoned, forgotten. If you feel that this word arrived at the exact moment you needed it, write in the comments, "Lord, here I am, I hear your voice." But now the time has come for you to stop. Stop running aimlessly. Stop ignoring the signs. Stop pretending you don't feel the call burning inside your chest, because what I have to tell you today will change everything. It will turn your life upside down, not to destroy, but to rebuild on what is eternal. You've lived on the surface for too long. You've settled for crumbs when I prepared a feast. You've accepted mediocrity when I designed you for excellence. And now, in this prophetic moment, I am tearing the veil. I am opening your spiritual ears. I am removing the scales from your eyes. Because what is coming is not for the distracted. It is not for those who live on the surface. It is for those willing to dive into the depths of my will, even if it means leaving behind everything they have known. Now listen with an open heart, with all your attention, because what I say today is neither light nor fleeting. It is not a motivational message that will make you feel good for a few hours and then fade away. It is a heavenly announcement that you must take with reverence, with holy fear, with the seriousness that deserves a word that comes directly from the throne of eternity. After this month, you will no longer be the same person. Listen carefully to what I say. After this month, something in you will have changed irreversibly. What I have decreed for you will begin to manifest itself, and it will do so so clearly that you will be unable to ignore it. You will not be able to pretend it isn't happening. You will not be able to return to the old version of yourself, even if you try. Profound changes are approaching, not only around you in your external circumstances, but within you, in the deepest layers of your identity. Changes that were written from the beginning of your story, when you weren't even born, when you didn't even know you would need this encounter with me. Because before you thought of me, I already thought of you. Before you sought me, I had already found you. Before you spoke my name, I had already spoken yours in the halls of heaven. I have been preparing your soul for this specific time, even when you were distracted by other things, even when you didn't know what I was doing in the unseen. Your spirit was being shaped in the hidden, in the secret workshop of my will. Every tear you shed in silence, every single one, was collected in my cup. Every night of uncertainty where you wondered if you had the strength to carry on, I was forging something in you. Every battle you fought without apparent strength, every moment when you felt you couldn't take another step, all have been part of a meticulously designed divine preparation. It hasn't been in vain. Nothing you've experienced has been wasted. Everything had a purpose, and that purpose is about to be revealed because this is a prophetic time. It's not an ordinary time. It's not just another season on the human calendar. It's a time marked on the celestial clock, a moment when heaven and earth align in a special way. The heavens are aligning over your life, and things that have been hidden, buried, and kept secret will begin to be revealed in full light. Yes, there will be a specific night when the sky will speak louder than ever. On that night, under the full moon that will illuminate darkness, something will be released from the celestial dimensions. It is not just any energy without direction or purpose. It is not an impersonal cosmic movement. It is a divine encounter, a programmed meeting between my will and your destiny. If you recognize that someone in your life needs to hear this urgent message, share this video now. It may be the instrument I use to touch that person's heart. The heavens will open like an unrolling scroll, and my spirit will move with power upon those who have ears to hear. Not everyone will see with their natural eyes, not everyone will feel with their physical senses, but you will know, you will feel it deep within, in that place where words cannot reach, but where truth resonates with absolute clarity. Because this transformation won't be superficial like a makeover or a temporary improvement. It won't be something you'll only see reflected in your external circumstances. It will be an inner awakening, a shaking of your deepest roots, a complete cleansing of everything that kept you tied to the old, the obsolete, to what has already served its purpose. I will shake what you considered stable, not to destroy you, but so that you can be built upon what is truly eternal. I will break down structures that I didn't put in place, even though they feel familiar, even though you've spent years building on them. I will remove people who weren't meant to walk with you on this new stage. I will shut down ideas that kept you spinning in circles. I will block paths that didn't lead you to my will, even though they seemed promising to you. And I will open a new path before you, one that will not be easy. I will not lie with false promises of comfort, but it will be glorious. It will be the path that leads you directly to the purpose for which you were created, to the reason for your existence, to the original design I have had for you since before the foundation of the world. It's no longer time to ignore my voice as you did before. This is a final call for you to awaken from your spiritual slumber. You can no longer postpone your surrender, your complete surrender. I have been patient with you. I have waited for your heart for so long, with a patience that only eternal love can possess. But now the time has come. Heaven's clock has been activated, and you cannot fall behind while everything moves forward. Stay here, listen with all your attention, Don't ignore this word as you have done before with other signs. Don't take it lightly, as if it were just another message among thousands. Don't let it pass by, thinking there will be another chance. Because this may be your last opportunity to enter what I have prepared, not because I close the door cruelly, but because times change, seasons don't wait, and what is not seized in its moment is lost in the wind. Keep listening, because there is still more I need to reveal to you. There are deeper layers of this truth that you need to understand. There are secrets kept since eternity that are now being unveiled. You are on the threshold of something greater than your mind can comprehend at this moment. You are on the brink of a transformation that will redefine everything you thought you knew about yourself, about me, about the purpose of your existence. Don't let your heart be troubled, for I am with you even in the turbulence. Yes, there will come days when the wind seems too strong, days when you feel like the storm is about to sweep you away, when the waves batter your boat and the water rushes in over the sides, when the darkness is so thick that it makes you question if I'm still near, if I haven't abandoned you to your fate. But listen carefully to this. I am the same one who calmed the storm with a single word. I am the same one who walked on water when the disciples believed they would sink beyond repair. I am the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. And now I tell you with the same authority with which I spoke to the wind, do not fear, I am with you. Not just near you, but with you, in you, sustaining you from within. If you're ready to receive more prophetic revelations like this, hit like and subscribe to this channel, because what's coming will be even more powerful. Many will not see what you will see in the days to come. Many are blind to these changes because they look with earthly eyes that perceive only the superficial. They listen with earthly ears that only capture low frequencies. They interpret the times with human wisdom that is not mine, which is limited, temporary, tainted by fear and doubt. But you, my beloved, are being called to more. I have anointed you to see with the eyes of the Spirit, those eyes that penetrate beyond the veil of the visible, to hear my voice amid the deafening noise of the world, to tune in not to the chaotic frequencies of the world, but to the perfect rhythms of heaven, where everything has its time and purpose. I've already told you that after this month, you won't be the same. And now I'll reveal why in greater depth. It's not because of a fleeting emotion you'll feel today and forget tomorrow. It's not because of a sudden twist of fate, as men who don't understand my ways call it. It's because I, the Lord your God, who formed you in the womb, who knows every hair on your head, have established a new season for you. It is a season marked by my voice, sealed with eternal purpose, designed specifically for you with divine precision. It is not a copy of another's life. It is not a repetition of a generic pattern. It is not the path someone else has walked and that you must imitate. It is your unique path, your own particular path, your singular story that only you can write with your obedience. And in this new season, your spirit will be taken to places you never imagined in your wildest dreams. Places that aren't on geographical maps, but in spiritual dimensions. Your soul will be confronted with truths you've hidden, even from yourself. Truths you've buried beneath layers of denial, justifications, and defense mechanisms. But don't fear when this happens. Don't run away when the mirror of truth stands before you. All of this is part of the sacred process of transformation I have begun. Don't let your heart be troubled. Don't let fear paralyze you, because I am with you even in the turbulence. Yes, there will come days when the wind seems too strong, days when you feel like the storm is about to sweep you away, when the waves batter your boat and the water rushes in over the sides. when the darkness is so dense that it makes you question if I am still near, if I have abandoned you to your fate. But listen carefully to this. I am the same one who calmed the storm with a single word. I am the same one who walked on water when the disciples believed they would sink beyond repair. I am the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. And now I tell you with the same authority with which I spoke to the wind, do not fear, I am with you, not just near you, but with you, in you, sustaining you from within. Many will not see what you will see in the days to come. Many are blind to these changes because they look with earthly eyes that perceive only the superficial. They listen with earthly ears that only capture low frequencies. They interpret the times with human wisdom that is not mine, which is limited, temporary, tainted by fear and doubt. But you, my beloved, are being called to more. I have anointed you to see with the eyes of the Spirit, those eyes that penetrate beyond the veil of the visible, to hear my voice amid the deafening noise of the world, to tune in not to the chaotic frequencies of the world, but to the perfect rhythms of heaven, where everything has its time and purpose. This new season won't be like the previous ones. It won't be a repeat of the same cycles you've experienced year after year. It won't be more of the same disguised as new. It will be something completely different, something that will break the mold, that will disrupt the norms, that will challenge everything you considered normal or acceptable. I will lead you into uncharted territories where you will have to rely completely on me, where your own wisdom will not suffice, where your natural resources will not reach, where you will have to walk by pure faith, trusting in every step I command, even when you don't see the complete path before you. And in this place of total dependence, in this place of absolute surrender, is where you will truly know me, not as a theological concept, not as a doctrine you've learned, but as the living God who breathes in you, who moves through you, who manifests his glory through your obedience. It's time for you to stop looking with cold, calculating logic and start walking by faith, by the certainty of what is expected, by the conviction of things unseen. Human logic has kept you trapped in small boxes, in self-imposed limits, in boundaries you yourself drew out of fear of going beyond. But I never called you to live inside boxes. I called you to the immensity, to the limitless, to the impossible that becomes possible when you trust in me. Your spiritual dawn has already begun. You may not have realized it clearly yet, but something within you has already awakened. It's like when the dawn begins to brighten the horizon even before the sun appears. There is a light breaking through the darkness of your soul, a light that does not come from outside but springs from within, from the place where my spirit dwells within you. This awakening is neither gentle nor gradual. It's abrupt, it's jarring, it's disturbing, because you've been asleep for too long. You've been living in a state of spiritual sleepwalking, moving through life without truly being present, without truly being alive. But now, I'm waking you urgently, because there's no more time to sleep. The old cycles are coming to a close. What you started years ago, those promises that seemed forgotten, those dreams you buried because you thought they would never come true, are all reaching their point of maturity. I have forgotten nothing. I have left nothing unfinished. What I begin, I finish. And now is the time for fulfillment. 7 is the number of divine perfection, of completeness, of the completed cycle. 7 days of creation, 7 seals, 7 trumpets, and now 7 times 7, the multiplication of perfection is being activated in your life. This is not empty numerology. It is not baseless superstition. It is the celestial code that marks the times and seasons in the spiritual realm. When you declare this number, when you write it, when you pronounce it with faith, You are activating celestial synchronicities. You are opening spiritual portals. You are aligning your frequency with the frequency of heaven. You are saying yes to what I have decreed. You are agreeing with my will. You are sealing the pact between us. If you believe that after this month your life will not be the same, if you feel that something big is about to manifest, write 7,777 inches, the comments, and activate celestial synchronicity. This spiritual dawn will bring clarity to areas of your life that have been in darkness for years. You will see clearly things that were previously confusing. You will understand situations that previously made no sense. You will recognize patterns that were previously hidden. And this clarity, while liberating, will also be confronting, because when the light arrives, it exposes everything, not just the good things, but also the things you've chosen to keep hidden, the secret sins, the unhealed wounds, the hidden bitterness, the lies you've told yourself. Everything will be exposed, not to shame you, but to set you free. You cannot be healed from what you deny. You cannot be freed from what you hide. You cannot be transformed if you continue to pretend everything is fine when it is not. That is why this dawn, though glorious, will also be painful. Because the truth hurts before it frees. Light disturbs before it illuminates. Awakening frightens before it brings peace. But I will be with you every step of the way. I will not leave you alone in your exposure. I will not abandon you in your vulnerability. My grace will be sufficient for you. My strength is made perfect in your weakness. And when you feel most fragile, most exposed, most broken, that will be precisely when my power will manifest itself most intensely within you. I will shake everything that can be shaken, everything not built by me, everything that does not have an eternal foundation, everything you have built with your own hands based on human wisdom will be shaken. And in the shaking, whatever is not solid will fall, whatever is not true will disintegrate, whatever is not mine simply will not stand. Don't be afraid of the shaking. Don't interpret the tremor as destruction. It's purification, it's cleansing, it's removing what's preventing you from achieving what I've prepared for you. You've been carrying too much weight, heavy structures that were never yours to carry, relationships that drain your energy, commitments that weren't born of my will, ambitions that others planted in you but aren't your true calling. And now I'm going to remove all of that, not because I'm cruel, but because I love you too much to let you live below your purpose. You've settled for less, accepted crumbs, and settled for cheap substitutes for the genuine. But I didn't create you for mediocrity. I didn't shape you to live on the surface. I designed you for depths, for heights, for dimensions you haven't even imagined yet. The shaking has already begun. You may be feeling it right now. That restlessness that keeps you awake, that discomfort in places where you once felt comfortable, those conversations that once filled you up now empty you, those environments that once welcomed you now suffocate you. It's not depression, it's not ingratitude, it's growth. Your spirit is growing, and the old containers no longer fit you. Your old clothes no longer fit. The shoes you once wore no longer fit your feet, because you are no longer who you once were. You are in a process of transformation, and this process requires you to let go of what belongs to the past. I'm closing doors you didn't have the courage to close. I'm ending cycles you prolonged out of fear of the unknown. I'm cutting cords that kept you tied to toxic situations, and I know it hurts. I know you cry when you see doors close. I know you feel fear when the familiar disappears. I know you question when the familiar is gone. But trust me, what I'm taking from you is not loss, it's liberation. What seems like an end is actually a beginning. What you call death, I call resurrection, because nothing truly dies in me. Everything is transformed, everything is renewed, Everything is resurrected in greater glory. If you know someone who is going through a rough patch and thinks it is punishment, share this video and help them understand that it is divine redirection. I need you to understand something fundamental. The shakings are not punishment. They are not signs that you did something wrong. They are not evidence that I am angry with you. They are signs that I am preparing you for something greater. They are proof that you are being promoted. They are confirmation that a new level awaits you. You can't enter the new carrying the old. You can't ascend to the next level with the baggage of the previous level. You can't move into the future if you remain attached to the past. That's why I shake. That's why I remove. That's why I cleanse. Not to leave you empty, but to fill you with the new. Not to leave you alone, but to bring the right people. Not to leave you lost, but to set you on the right path. So don't resist the jolts. Don't fight the process. Don't try to hold on to what I'm letting go. Don't try to rebuild what I'm tearing down. Don't try to save what I'm finishing. Let me complete my work in you. Let me finish what I started. Let me prepare you completely for what's to come. There will be a night. A specific night marked on the celestial calendar where heaven will speak louder than ever. It is not just any night. It is not a random moment. It is a prophetic time established from eternity, a meeting point between the divine and the human, between heaven and earth, between my will and your destiny. That night, the full moon will shine with unusual intensity. It's not superstition. It's not empty astrology. It's a celestial sign, a divine marker I've placed in the heavens since creation. For I speak through creation. The sun, the moon, the stars all proclaim my glory, all announce my times, all declare my seasons. And on this full moon night, something will be released from the celestial realms. A wave of spiritual power will descend upon those who are prepared, upon those who have ears to hear, upon those who have eyes to see. It will not be visible to everyone. It will not be perceptible to those who live only in the natural world. But to you, who are being awakened, it will be unmistakable. You will feel something shift within you, a different vibration, a new frequency. As if something that was dormant suddenly awakens, as if a door that was locked suddenly opens, as if a veil covering your eyes suddenly lifts, and in that moment you will know. You won't need external confirmation. You won't need anyone to explain it to you. Your spirit will recognize the touch of my spirit. The heavens will open like an unrolling scroll, and what was written about you since before the foundation of the world will begin to be revealed. Not all at once, because you wouldn't be able to bear the full intensity of the revelation. But layer by layer, truth by truth, mystery by mystery, I will show you who you truly are, not who people said you were, not who your circumstances led you to believe you were, not who your failures convinced you were, but who I say you are, who I created you to be, who you are in my eternal plans. If you want to be among those who will see the invisible and feel the moving of the Spirit on this special night, hit like and subscribe to this channel. This night won't be the same for everyone. Some will sleep and not notice anything. Others will be awake but distracted by their screens, their worries, their empty entertainment. But you, if you are attentive, if you are in a listening position, if you are open-hearted, you will receive. You will receive clarity where there was confusion. You will receive direction where there was uncertainty. You will receive strength where there was weakness. You will receive hope where there was despair. Because tonight, I will not just speak, I will touch. I will not just reveal, I will transform. I will not just show the way, I will empower you to walk it. Prepare your heart for this night, not with empty rituals, not with religious formulas, but with genuine expectation, with simple faith, with an open heart. For I do not move where there is skepticism. I do not speak where there is hardness of heart. I do not reveal my secrets to those who approach me with doubt, but to you who believe, to you who hope, to you who trust, I will reveal myself in ways you have never experienced. You will know me not just as the distant God who created the universe, but as the near Father who knows your name, who counts your sighs, who keeps your tears, who celebrates your victories. And when this night passes, you will never be the same. Something will have changed permanently within you. A heavenly mark will have been placed upon your life. A divine seal will have been imprinted upon your soul, and from that moment on, you will walk differently, speak differently, see differently, live differently, because you will have encountered me in a way that leaves a mark, transforms, and redefines everything. That night, it will be as if a spiritual mirror is placed before you, but it's no ordinary mirror that reflects only your physical appearance. It's a heavenly mirror that reflects your true identity, the one that has been hidden within me since before you were born. It's the mirror that shows not who you've become because of your wounds, but who you've always been in my heart. You've been living with a distorted image of yourself, an image shaped by the words others have said about you, by rejections you've suffered, by failures you've experienced, by comparisons you've made. And this distorted image has kept you trapped, kept you small, kept you hidden. You look at yourself and see only your flaws. You see only your limitations. You see only your past mistakes. You see only what you couldn't be, what you couldn't achieve, what you couldn't accomplish. And this distorted vision has robbed you of the courage to dream, the boldness to believe, the strength to try. But when you look into the spiritual mirror I will place before you, you will see something completely different. You will see what I see when I look at you. You will see the glory I have placed within you. You will see the potential I have placed in your soul. You will see the calling I have engraved upon your spirit. You will see the greatness I have designed for your life. And this encounter with your true identity will be shocking. It will be disturbing, because you will realize how much you have lived below my expectations, how much you have settled for less, how much you have accepted crumbs when I prepared a banquet, how much you have lived like a beggar when I made you a son, an heir, royalty. You will see that you are not as weak as you thought. You will see that you are not as insignificant as you believed. You will see that you are not a mistake as you were made to feel. You will see that you are loved, chosen, set apart, anointed, empowered, destined for great things, for eternal purposes, for impacts that transcend your own life. And this revelation of your true identity will change everything. It will change how you see yourself. It will change how you present yourself. It will change how you speak. It will change how you decide. It will change how you relate, because you can't know who you truly are and continue living as you did before. When you know you are a child of the King, you no longer beg. When you know you carry divine glory, you no longer hide. When you know you were created for eternal purposes, you no longer waste your life on temporal and empty things. The spiritual mirror will also reveal things you need to let go of. Masks you've been wearing, characters you've been playing, false versions of yourself you've created to be accepted, to be loved, to belong. And you'll see that these masks have tired you, exhausted you, emptied you, because living pretending to be someone you're not demands energy you don't have. Keeping up appearances consumes strength you need for other things. Hiding your true essence creates an invisible but real prison, and you've been trapped in this prison for far too long. But when the spiritual mirror reveals your true face, you will have the courage to take off your masks. You will have the strength to be authentic. You will have the freedom to be yourself, without fear of rejection, without fear of judgment, without fear of not being enough, because you will discover that in me, you have always been enough. You have always been loved. You have always been accepted, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Not because of your achievements, but because of my grace. Not because of your perfection, but because of my unconditional love. And this discovery will set you free once and for all. It will free you from the need to prove your worth. It will free you from the compulsion to seek approval. It will free you from the anxiety of never being good enough, because you will know, deep down, that you are mine. And being mine is all you need to be. What's happening within you isn't superficial. It's not a mood swing. It's not a passing phase. It's a profound inner awakening, a seismic movement in the deepest layers of your soul. Something that has been dormant since birth is now being activated. Something buried under years of conditioning, trauma, and disappointment is being unearthed. You were created with specific purposes engraved in your spiritual DNA. Gifts I placed within you before you took your first breath. Talents I deposited in your soul before you opened your eyes for the first time. Callings I wrote in the book of your life before any day existed, but life tried to erase it. Circumstances tried to bury it. People tried to silence it, and for a while, it seemed to have worked. It seemed like that divine spark within you had been extinguished. It seemed like that calling had been stifled. It seemed like those gifts had died, but I never allowed them to die completely. I kept a burning ember, hidden, protected, waiting for the right moment to be rekindled. And that moment is now. I am blowing on that ember. I am rekindling the fire. I am awakening what was sleeping. And you're feeling it. You're feeling something stirring within you. A holy restlessness, a divine discomfort, a dissatisfaction that isn't negative, but rather propelling. It's the call echoing in the chambers of your heart. It's purpose knocking on the door of your consciousness. It's destiny summoning you to step out of your comfort zone. You can no longer ignore this. You can no longer silence this. You can no longer postpone this, because the time has come. The time is now. The season is now. And if you don't respond now, if you don't move now, if you don't obey now, you will miss the moment. I'm not threatening you. I'm warning you with love. Because I know there are windows of opportunity that open and close. There are prophetic moments that don't wait. There are divine summonses that have a deadline. And this is one of those moments. If you felt something move inside you when you heard about your true destiny, tap like, this gesture is your yes to heaven. The inner awakening you're experiencing will lead you to make different choices. You'll no longer be able to make decisions based solely on logic, solely on financial security, solely on comfort. You'll have to start making decisions based on what your spirit is telling you, what my voice is whispering, what the call is demanding. And this will scare the people around you. They won't understand why you're changing. They will question your decisions. They will try to convince you to return to what was familiar, what was safe, what was predictable. But you can't go back. You can't go backward. You can't unlearn what you've learned. You can't unsee what you've seen. You can't unhear what you've heard. This inner awakening will also bring to the surface things you've buried, dreams you've abandoned, visions you've dismissed, desires you stifled because they seemed impossible, because they seemed foolish, because they seemed too big for someone like you. But I'm telling you now, those dreams came from me. Those visions were planted by me. Those desires were placed by me. And if I placed them in you, it's because I also placed in you the ability to fulfill them. I don't give you dreams to frustrate you. I give you dreams to guide you, So don't bury your dreams anymore. Don't dismiss your visions anymore. Don't stifle your holy desires anymore. Let them surface. Let them breathe. Let them take shape. Let them manifest. Because they are part of my plan for you. This profound inner awakening is irreversible. You will not go back to sleep. You will not return to unconsciousness. You will not return to automatic life. You are awake now, and awake, you will see things you never saw. You will hear things you never heard. You will feel things you never felt, and you will live in a way you have never lived before. I'm closing doors in your life. Doors you didn't have the courage to close yourself. Doors you kept open out of fear, guilt, obligation, or habit. Relationships that should have ended long ago. Jobs that have already served their purpose. Environments that no longer serve you. Connections that drain more than they nourish. And you've been feeling it. You've seen doors closing without you doing anything. Opportunities disappearing. People walking away. Invitations stopping coming. And you've been wondering why. You've been questioning whether you did something wrong. You've been feeling rejected, abandoned, left behind. But I need you to understand something fundamental. I'm closing these doors. It's not rejection, it's redirection. It's not abandonment, it's protection. It's not loss, it's preparation. Because where you're going, these doors won't take you. What you're about to receive, these connections won't support. Who you're becoming, these environments won't accommodate. I see what you don't see. I know what you don't know. I know the end from the beginning. And I know that if you keep trying to hold open doors that I'm closing, you'll miss the doors I'm opening. You can't step into the new while clinging to the old. You can't receive what I have for you while your hands are full of what no longer serves you. That's why I'm taking it from you. Not cruelly, but wisely. Not indifferently, but lovingly. I'm removing people who would prevent you from reaching your destination. I'm ending situations that would consume the time you need for what truly matters. I'm blocking paths that seem promising, but would lead you far from my will. And I know it hurts. I know you cry when you see relationships end. I know you feel fear when family disappears. I know you feel lost when acquaintances are gone, but I need you to trust me in this process. I need you to let go of what I'm taking away. I need you to stop fighting to hold on to what I'm closing. If you've seen doors close without explanation and now understand that it's divine redirection, share this video. Someone needs this revelation today. There are people in your life who were there for a season, not forever, and their season is over. They fulfilled the purpose for which I placed them in your path. They taught you what they needed to teach. They helped you with what they needed to help. And now it's time to let them go. Not with bitterness, not with resentment, not with hurt, but with gratitude for what was and peace for what will no longer be. Because holding on to people beyond their season becomes toxic. Trying to maintain relationships that have already run their course becomes painful. Forcing connections that no longer serve a purpose becomes destructive. I'm teaching you to honor the seasons, to celebrate what was without trying to resurrect what died, to be grateful for the people who passed without trying to force them to stay, to recognize when something has ended without trying to artificially prolong it. And as I close doors behind you, I'm opening doors before you, doors you never knew existed, opportunities you never imagined possible, connections you never dreamed of making. But you'll only see these new doors if you stop looking at the closed doors. You will only enter the new if you stop mourning the old. You will only receive what I have if you let go of what you have. So I tell you today, stop trying to open what I closed. Stop knocking on doors I locked. Stop crying over what I removed. And start looking ahead. Start seeking new doors. Start waiting for what I am bringing, because what's coming is better than what's gone. What I've prepared is greater than what you've lost. The people I'm bringing are more aligned than those who left. The environments I'm opening are more conducive than those that closed. Trust me, I know what I'm doing, and everything works together for your good. Every closed door is a redirection. Every no you received was my protection. Every plan that failed was my intervention. Because I see what you don't see. I know the end of every path. I know where every road leads. And when I block a path, it's not to frustrate you, it's to save you. How many times have you prayed for something and I said no, and you got mad at me? How many times have you asked for a door and I closed it, and you questioned my love? How many times have you wanted a relationship and I stopped it, and you thought I was cruel? But now, looking back, you can see, you can understand, you can recognize that that wasn't mercy. If I had given you that job, you'd be stuck today. If I had allowed that relationship, you'd be broke today. If I had opened that door, you'd be in the wrong place today. My no's have saved you more times than you can imagine. My blocks have protected you from pain you'll never know you avoided. Because I don't just see the present, I see the future. I don't just know people's intentions today. I know who they will become tomorrow. I don't just judge opportunities by their appearance. I see the consequences they will bring. And when I say no, when I shut down, when I block, it's because I'm saving you for something better, something bigger, something more aligned with who you truly are and the purpose for which I created you. I don't waste your no's. Every no brings you closer to the right yes. Every closed door directs you to the right door. Every blocked path leads you to the right path. But you need to stop fighting my redirections. You need to stop insisting on doors I've closed. You need to stop forcing paths I've blocked. Because while you're pushing against a closed door, you're turning your back on the door I've opened. Divine redirection requires trust. It requires you to let go of control. It requires you to stop trying to make things happen your way and in your time. It requires you to surrender to my wisdom, my vision, my plan. And I know this is hard for you. I know you like to be in control. I know you feel secure when you have everything planned out. I know you feel comfortable when you can foresee the next step. But I'm calling you to a level of faith where you don't see the whole path, where you don't have all the answers, where you don't control every outcome. If you want to continue receiving clarity in the midst of the redirection process, subscribe to this channel. I will continue talking to you. I'm calling you to walk with me, step by step, day by day, moment by moment, to trust that when I say turn right, it's because there's danger to the left. To believe that when I say stop, it's because there's an abyss ahead. To accept that when I say wait, it's because the time isn't right yet. My redirection is not a rejection of what you want. It's preparation for what you need. It's not a denial of your dreams. It's a refinement of your dreams. It's not a destruction of your plans. It's an alignment of your plans with mine. Because your dreams, when aligned with mine, become bigger. Your plans, when submitted to mine, become better. Your visions, when filtered by my wisdom, become clearer and more achievable. I'm not against you. I'm for you. I'm not holding you back. I'm preparing you. I'm not holding you back. I'm positioning you. And when the right time comes, when the right door opens, when the right path appears, you will enter with confidence, with peace, with the certainty that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. So stop seeing blocks as punishment. Start seeing blocks as protection. Stop interpreting no's as rejection. Start interpreting no's as redirection. Stop fighting what I'm closing. Start seeking what I'm opening. Because I promise you, what I'm opening is worth the wait. What I'm preparing is worth the trust. The path I'm taking you on is worth every no, every closed door, every redirection you've experienced so far. I'm destroying your false securities, those things you trusted more than me, those structures you built to feel safe without having to rely on me, those safety nets you wove with your own hands because you didn't believe I would sustain you. You've trusted your job more than me. You've trusted your savings more than my provision. You've trusted your relationships more than my presence. You've trusted your own ability more than my power. And these false securities have kept you from truly experiencing my faithfulness. Because as long as you have a plan B, you never fully trust my plan A. As long as you have an escape hatch, you never fully embrace what I'm asking of you. As long as you have a self-woven safety net, you never fully experience what it's like to be held by my hands. That's why I'm removing these false securities. Not to leave you unprotected, but so that you discover that I am your true protection. Not to leave you helpless, but so that you experience that I am your true support. Not to make you insecure, but so that you find in me the only security that never fails. I will take away your crutches so you can walk. I will remove your cane so you realize you have strong legs. I will tear down the walls you built to protect yourself so you see that I am your fortress, your refuge, your strong tower, and it will scare you. It will make you vulnerable. It will make you feel exposed because you've lived so long hiding behind these structures, so long leaning on these crutches, so long depending on these false securities that you've forgotten what it's like to trust only me. But I need you to get through this. I need you to get to the point where there's nothing and no one left to hold on to, only me, where there's no plan B, only my will, where there's no escape hatch, only my direction, because it's in this place of total dependence that you'll truly know me. Not as a theological concept, not as a doctrine you learned in church, not as a pretty idea you read in the Bible, but as the living, present, real God who sustains, provides, protects, and never fails. Your false security gave you the illusion of control. It made you feel like you were in control of your life. It made you feel like you could handle everything on your own. But this illusion kept you trapped. It kept you limited. It kept you living far below what I planned for you. Because when you rely on your own structures, you only go as far as your structures reach. When you depend on your own resources, you only go as far as your resources allow. When you rely on your own strength, you only achieve what your strength can. But when you trust in me, there are no limits. When you depend on me, nothing is impossible. When you lean on me, there are no barriers that cannot be broken. Because I am the God of the impossible. I am the God who opens paths where there is no path. I am the God who makes the sea part, who makes the wall fall, who makes the giant fall. So let me destroy your false securities. Don't fight to keep them upright. Don't try to rebuild what I'm tearing down. Don't cling to what I'm removing, because on the other side of this destruction, there's a freedom you've never experienced. There's a peace you've never known. There's a confidence you've never had. And when you get to the other side, when you go through this process of removing false securities, you will look back and be grateful. You will see that what seemed like destruction was actually liberation. You will understand that what seemed like loss was actually gain. You will recognize that what seemed cruel was actually the greatest act of love I could do for you. Because I love you too much to keep you trapped by your own limitations. I love you too much to let you depend on things that might fail. I love you too much to let you build your life on shifting sand. I want you to build on the rock, and that rock is me. You're feeling something strange. Places where you used to feel comfortable now make you uncomfortable. Environments that once welcomed you now suffocate you. Conversations that once filled you up now drain you. People you used to spend hours with now tire you out in minutes, and you've been wondering what's happening to you. Let me explain. You're not becoming arrogant. You're not becoming intolerant. You're not developing a personality disorder. You're growing. Your spirit is expanding. Your consciousness is rising. Your frequency is shifting. And as you grow, the spaces that were once sufficient become too small. It's like a child growing up and their clothes getting too tight. There's nothing wrong with the clothes. They just don't fit anymore because the child has grown. Likewise, there's not necessarily anything wrong with places, people, or conversations. They just don't fit anymore because you've grown. You no longer fit into certain environments. You no longer resonate with certain conversations. You no longer connect with certain mindsets because you're on a different level now. You're seeing things you didn't see before. You're understanding things you didn't understand before. You're noticing things that previously went unnoticed. And this shift in perception changes everything. It changes what interests you. It changes what motivates you. It changes what satisfies you. It changes who you want to be with. It changes what you want to talk about. It changes where you want to invest your time and energy. Superficial conversations no longer hold you. Gossip no longer attracts you. Constant complaints no longer engage you. Empty arguments no longer interest you. Because your spirit is hungry for depth, for truth, for substance, for purpose. You want to talk about things that matter. You want to be with people who are growing. You want to invest in relationships that build you up. You want to participate in conversations that challenge you, that expand you, that make you think, that make you grow. And when you don't find this in the environments you used to be, you feel out of place. You feel alone even when surrounded by people. You feel misunderstood even when among acquaintances. Because you've changed, but they haven't. You've grown, but they've stayed. If you are no longer fed up with superficial conversations and know that your spirit is growing, write in the comments, "I am growing." This doesn't make you better than anyone else. It doesn't give you the right to judge or despise others, but it does give you the right to choose where you put your energy. It gives you the freedom to seek out environments that nurture who you are becoming. It gives you permission to walk away from spaces that keep you stuck in who you were. Don't feel guilty about this. Don't force yourself to stay in places that drain you just because you've always been there. Don't force yourself to maintain relationships that drain you just because they're old. Don't stick to environments that limit you just because they're familiar. I'm calling you to more. I'm expanding you. I'm preparing you for bigger spaces, for deeper relationships, for more meaningful conversations, for higher purposes. And you can't enter these new spaces if you keep forcing yourself into the old ones. Spaces are getting narrower because you're getting bigger. Clothes are getting tighter because you're growing. Environments are getting suffocating because you need more air, more space, more freedom to be who I'm calling you to be. So don't resist this discomfort. Don't fight this restlessness. Don't try to force yourself back to what was comfortable, because this discomfort is a signal. It's an indicator that you're ready for the next level. It's a confirmation that you're being promoted. And when you accept this, when you stop fighting growth, when you allow the narrow spaces to fall behind, you will discover new spaces, wide spaces where you can breathe, healthy environments where you can flourish, genuine relationships where you can be authentic. And in these new spaces, you will finally feel at home. Something has shifted in your spiritual frequency. You're vibrating differently. You're tuned to a different channel. You're operating in a different dimension. And this frequency shift is causing a natural disconnection with everything vibrating at lower frequencies. It's like a radio. When you change the station, you stop hearing what was playing on the previous station. not because the previous station no longer exists, but because you're no longer tuned into it. Likewise, you're no longer resonating with certain things, certain people, certain situations, not because they've changed, but because you've changed your frequency. You are being attuned to heaven, to celestial rhythms, to divine frequencies, to eternal vibrations, and the more you attune to the high, the more you disconnect from the low. The more you align with the spiritual, the more you misalign with the carnal. The closer you get to me, the further you distance yourself from the mundane. And this isn't spiritual elitism. It's not religious superiority. It's not arrogance disguised as holiness. It's simply the natural consequence of being transformed. It's the inevitable result of being elevated. It's the side effect of being renewed. You can no longer consume what you used to. Music you used to listen to now bothers you. Shows you used to watch now disturb you. Content you used to follow now drains you, because your frequency has changed, and these things no longer resonate with who you're becoming. You can no longer participate in certain conversation. Gossip repels you. Constant criticism tires you. Negativity drains you. Complaining exhausts you, because you're vibrating with gratitude, faith, hope, and purpose. And these low frequencies simply don't suit you anymore. You can no longer tolerate certain environments. Places filled with confusion destabilize you. Spaces filled with negativity weigh you down. Environments where my name is not honored bother you, because you are saturated with my presence and you recognize when it is not there. If you recognize that your frequency has changed and no longer resonates with the common, tap-like, it is your declaration that you accept the new level. This frequency shift is also making you more sensitive, more perceptive, more discerning. You feel things others don't. You perceive things others don't. You discern things others don't. You enter a room and immediately know whether to stay or leave. You meet a person and sense in your spirit whether it's a divine connection or a distraction. You hear a proposal and discern whether it comes from me or a trap from the enemy, because your spiritual senses are being sharpened. This heightened sensitivity is a gift, but it's also a responsibility. It's a gift because it protects you, guides you, and directs you. But it's also a responsibility because you need to obey what you feel, what you perceive, what you discern. You can no longer ignore your spirit's warnings. You can no longer silence the voice of your spiritual intuition. You can no longer dismiss the signs I give you through your heightened sensitivity, because I am guiding you through this new frequency. I am speaking to you through this heightened sensitivity. And when you learn to trust this new frequency, when you learn to obey this spiritual sensitivity, you begin to walk in a level of protection and direction that you have never experienced before. You avoid traps before you fall into them. You recognize the wrong people before you get involved with them. You identify wrong paths before you take them, because you are in tune with me. You are vibrating at my frequency. You are aligned with my will. This frequency shift is permanent. You will not return to vibrating as you did before. You will not return to resonating with what you resonated with before. You will not return to connecting with what you connected with before. Because you have been elevated, you have been transformed, you have been renewed, and now you live in a different dimension. You operate on a different level. You function on a different frequency. And in this new frequency, you will experience things you've never experienced. You will see things you've never seen. You will hear things you've never heard, because you are in tune with heaven, and heaven is revealing itself to you. Your spiritual sensitivity is being heightened like never before. You're noticing things that previously went unnoticed. You're feeling things you didn't feel before. You're discerning things you didn't before. It's as if a veil has been removed from your spiritual eyes, and now you see clearly what was always there, but you couldn't see. You enter a place and immediately feel the spiritual atmosphere. You don't need explanations. You don't need analysis. You simply know. Your spirit recognizes whether that environment is charged with peace or confusion, whether it is saturated with my presence or empty of it, whether it is a place of edification or destruction. You talk to someone and see beyond the words. You grasp the intentions behind their speech. You sense sincerity or falsehood. You discern whether that person is driven by genuine love or hidden agendas. You recognize whether it's a divine connection or a strategic distraction from the enemy. This heightened sensitivity isn't paranoia. It's not unhealthy distrust. It's not rash judgment. It's spiritual discernment. It's one of the gifts I'm activating in you this season. It's a tool of protection and guidance I'm placing in your hands. You're hearing my voice more clearly, not just in formal prayer times, but in the middle of the day, in the midst of activities, in the midst of decisions, an inner whisper that guides you, a spiritual intuition that alerts you, a deep certainty that directs you. And you're learning to recognize that voice, to trust that voice, and to obey that voice. Because my voice isn't loud, it's not booming, it's not dramatic, it's soft, it's gentle, it's quiet, but it's firm, it's clear. It's unmistakable when you learn to hear it. And you are learning. You are becoming sensitive to the nuances of my communication with you. Sometimes I speak through an inexplicable peace that invades your heart when you're on the right path. Sometimes I speak through a restlessness that keeps you from going in the wrong direction. Sometimes I speak through a door that opens at just the right moment. Sometimes I speak through a word someone says to you without knowing it was exactly what you needed to hear. And you're recognizing these forms of communication. You're noticing my hand in details you'd previously consider coincidental. You're seeing my signature in events you'd previously attribute to chance. You're identifying my direction in circumstances you'd previously consider random. This heightened spiritual sensitivity also makes you more aware of spiritual warfare. You sense when you're under attack. You recognize when thoughts that aren't yours try to invade your mind. You recognize when emotions that don't originate with you try to dominate you. You discern when the enemy's strategies are being deployed against you. And this awareness empowers you to resist, to rebuke, to declare, to use the authority I have given you, because you cannot fight what you cannot see. You cannot resist what you cannot recognize. You cannot overcome what you cannot discern. But now you see. Now you recognize. Now you discern. Your heightened spiritual sensitivity also makes you more compassionate. You feel people's pain even when they don't speak. You perceive loneliness even when they smile. You discern their inner struggle even when they pretend everything is fine. And this moves you to pray, to intercede, to reach out, to be my instrument of comfort and healing. You are becoming a purer channel of my presence, because the more sensitive you become to me, the more transparent you become for me to flow through you. The more you listen to me, the more you speak my words. The more you feel me, the more you transmit my touch. The more you know me, the more you reveal me. This heightened spiritual sensitivity is a treasure. It's a gift. It's a privilege. But it's also a responsibility. Because with greater perception comes greater responsibility. With greater discernment comes greater accountability. With greater clarity comes a greater obligation to act on what you see, feel, and discern. Don't waste this gift. Don't ignore this sensitivity. Don't silence this discernment. Honor what I am doing in you. Cultivate this sensitivity through prayer, worship, and meditation on my word. and use this gift to glorify my name, to edify my people, to advance my kingdom. The time for living in a low voice is over. The time for hiding is over. The time for diminishing who you are to make others feel comfortable. The time for silencing your gifts to avoid disturbing others is over. The time for dimming your light to avoid overshadowing anyone is over. I created you to shine, not to hide in the shadows. You've been living in fear, fear of what people will think, fear of what people will say, fear of being rejected, fear of being criticized, fear of being misunderstood. And this fear has kept you trapped, kept you small, kept you invisible. But I didn't call you to invisibility. I called you to be light, and light cannot be hidden. You've been silent when you should speak. You've been hiding when you should be showing up. You've been diminishing yourself when you should be standing up. You've been pretending to be less than you are, to fit in, to be accepted, to avoid causing discomfort. But I didn't create you to fit in. I created you to stand out. I placed in you a unique voice, a singular perspective, a specific anointing, gifts that only you possess in the way you do, a calling that only you can fulfill. And when you live in a low voice, when you hide, when you diminish yourself, you're not just hurting yourself, you're depriving the world of what only you can give. There are people who will only be reached through you. There are lives that will only be touched by your voice. There are hearts that will only be healed by your testimony. There are destinies that will only be transformed by your example. But if you continue to live in a low voice, these people will not be reached. These lives will not be touched. These hearts will not be healed. These destinies will not be transformed. If you are tired of living in hiding and ready to live out loud, share this video. Declare that the time for silence is over. I'm calling you to step out of the shadows, to take off your mask, to speak out, to show who you truly are. Not with arrogance, not with pride, not with pretense, but with authenticity, with courage, with the confidence that I am with you and that I am for you, no matter who is against you. Yes, there will be criticism. Yes, there will be judgment. Yes, there will be people who don't understand. Yes, there will be those who reject you. But this has always happened to everyone I've called to something greater. It happened to the prophets. It happened to the apostles. It happened to my own son. And it will happen to you. But I tell you, it is better to be rejected for being who you are than to be accepted for pretending to be someone you are not. It is better to be criticized for obeying me than to be applauded for pleasing men. It is better to walk alone in my will than to walk accompanied outside it. And you won't be alone, because I'll be with you. And when you have the courage to live out loud, to be authentic, to show who you really are, you'll attract the right people, the people who will celebrate you, not tolerate you, the people who will support you, not criticize you, the people who will walk with you, not against you. Living in a whisper is exhausting. Pretending to be someone you're not drains your energy. Hiding who you really are creates an invisible prison, and you've been living in this prison for too long. But today, I'm opening the door. Today, I'm giving you the key. Today, I'm calling you out. Break out of the prison of fear. Break out of the prison of human approval. Break out of the prison of the need to please everyone, because you can't please everyone and still fulfill your purpose. You can't live for the approval of men and still live for my glory. So choose today. Choose to live out loud. Choose to be authentic. Choose to show who you truly are. Choose to use your gifts unapologetically. Choose to shine without hiding. Choose to speak without being silent. Because the world needs you, not a diluted version of you, not an edited version of you, but you, complete, authentic, and out loud. It's time to release the wounds. Definitely. Completely. Without reservations. You've been carrying pain that isn't yours to carry. You've been harboring hurts that poison you inside. You've been harboring resentments that keep you trapped in the past. And I'm telling you today, let go, free yourself. You think that by holding on to resentment, you're punishing the person who hurt you, but the truth is, you're punishing yourself. You think that by holding on to resentment, you're protecting your heart, but the truth is, you're imprisoning your soul. You think that by not forgiving, you're doing justice, but the truth is, you're drinking poison, waiting for the other person to die. The wounds you carry prevent you from moving forward. They keep you looking back. They bind you to chapters that should already be closed. They tie you to people who should already be out of your life. They connect you to pain that should already be healed. And while you carry these wounds, you cannot receive the newness I have for you, because you can't grasp the new with your hands full of the old. You can't embrace the future while clinging to the past. You can't heal if you keep reopening wounds. You can't be free if you keep choosing the prison of bitterness. I know it hurts. I know it was unfair. I know you didn't deserve it. I know they hurt you deeply. I know the scars are real. I know the pain was intense. I saw it all. I was there. I counted every tear. I held every breath. I felt every pain. And that's exactly why I can ask you to let go. Because I know the weight you've been carrying. I know the burden that's been crushing your shoulders. I know the prison that's been holding your heart. And I want to set you free. I want to heal you. I want to restore you. But I can't heal what you won't let go. I can't restore what you keep destroying by constantly reliving the pain. I can't free those who choose to remain trapped. Healing is available, liberation is within reach, but you must do your part. You must choose to let go. Forgiving doesn't mean saying what they did was right. Forgiving doesn't mean pretending it didn't hurt. Forgiving doesn't mean trusting the person who betrayed you again. Forgiving doesn't mean opening the door again to the person who hurt you. Forgiving means releasing the debt. It means taking your hands off their necks and placing them in mine. It means letting me deliver justice while you walk in peace. If you are ready to release your wounds definitively and enter into complete healing, write 7,777. This is the code for total liberation. When you let go of your wounds, you're not doing a favor to the person who hurt you. You're doing a favor to yourself. You're freeing yourself. You're healing yourself. You're making room for something new. You're breaking chains. You're leaving prison. You're choosing life over death, freedom over slavery, peace over bitterness. And when you let go, I heal. When you forgive, I restore. When you release, I free. I touch the deepest wounds. I heal the oldest pains. I restore what was stolen. I renew what was destroyed. I rebuild what was broken. You don't have to carry these wounds for another day. You don't have to live with this pain for another night. You don't have to drag this weight around for another moment. Today is the day of release. Today is the day of healing. Today is the day to let go for good. So make a conscious choice now. Choose to forgive. Choose to let go. Choose to free yourself, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. You deserve freedom. You deserve to live without the weight of the past. You deserve to walk lightly. You deserve to smile without pain. You deserve to love without fear. And when you let go, you'll feel something shift immediately. A weight lifts from your shoulders. A chain breaks. A prison opens. A light enters. Peace descends. Healing begins. Because forgiveness releases power. Forgiveness activates miracles. Forgiveness opens doors. And today, you are choosing forgiveness. You are choosing freedom. You are choosing life. You have been building on sand, on temporal things, on structures that will not endure, on foundations that will not withstand the storms to come. And I am calling you now to rebuild, to build on the rock, to build on what is eternal, to invest in what will endure when all else passes away. You've been investing too much time in things that won't matter 10 years from now. You've been devoting too much energy to achievements that won't last forever. You've been chasing dreams that are too small for the greatness I've placed within you, and it's time to realign your priorities. What really matters? What will truly endure? What will truly matter when you stand before me and give an account of your life? It won't be how much money you've accumulated. It won't be how many followers you've had. It won't be how much applause you've received. It will be how many lives you've touched. It will be how much love you've given. It will be how much of my kingdom you've advanced. I'm not saying work doesn't matter. I'm not saying provision isn't important. I'm not saying you should neglect your responsibilities. I'm saying you need to put things in order. I'm saying you need to seek my kingdom first. I'm saying you need to build on eternal foundations. When you build on the eternal, everything else finds its rightful place. When you seek my kingdom first, everything else is added. When you prioritize what truly matters, the rest falls into place naturally. Because I care for those who prioritize me. I sustain those who trust in me. I provide for those who seek me first. Building on the eternal means investing in true relationships, not just superficial connections. It means cultivating your character, not just your reputation. It means developing your intimacy with me, not just your knowledge of me. It means impacting lives, not just impressing people. Building on the eternal means making choices that honor me, even when no one is watching. It means maintaining your integrity, even when it would be easier to compromise. It means speaking the truth, even when a lie would be more convenient. It means loving, even when it would be easier to hate. It means forgiving, even when it would be easier to hold a grudge. If you want to continue building on the eternal and receive guidance for what really matters, hit like and subscribe to this channel. Storms will come, that's guaranteed. There will be strong winds. There will be heavy rains. There will be times when everything will be tested. And in those times, what you built on sand will crumble. What you built on the storm will crumble. But what you built on rock will stand. What you built on eternity will endure. And you will stand when others fall. You will stand firm when others are shaken. You will weather the storm when others are swept away. Not because you are stronger, not because you are more capable, but because you have built on the right foundation. So, examine your life and today. Look at where you've invested your time. Analyze where you've put your energy. Evaluate where you've deposited your resources. And ask yourself, will this last? Does it have eternal value? Will it matter in eternity? And whatever doesn't pass this test, abandon it. Whatever doesn't have eternal value, let it go. Whatever doesn't build on the rock, rebuild. Because you don't have time to waste on what won't last. You don't have energy to waste on what doesn't matter. You don't have life to waste on what's temporary. I gave you one life, just one, and that life is precious, it's valuable, it's full of purpose. Don't waste it building sandcastles that the first wave will wash away. Don't waste it chasing things that won't last forever. Don't invest it in what is fleeting. Build on the eternal. Invest in what will endure. Build on the rock. And when the storms come, and they will, you will remain standing, firm, unshakable, secure, because you built on me. And I am the eternal rock that never fails. I am placing a mantle of authority over you. It is not an authority that comes from human titles. It is not an authority that comes from ecclesiastical positions. It is not an authority that comes from diplomas or certificates. It is a spiritual authority, an authority that comes directly from me, an authority that is recognized in the spiritual realm. This mantle of authority empowers you to operate in dimensions you've never operated before. It gives you access to spiritual realms that were previously closed to you. It grants you permission to decree, declare, command, and establish. It authorizes you to bind what must be bound and untie what must be untied. It enables you to open doors no one can close and close doors no one can open. This authority is not for you to show off. It is not for you to promote yourself. It is not for you to dominate others. It is for you to advance my kingdom. It is for you to free captives. It is for you to heal the wounded. It is for you to restore the broken. It is for you to bring light where there is darkness. It is for you to establish my will on earth as it is in heaven. With this authority comes responsibility, because authority without character is dangerous. Authority without humility is destructive. Authority without love is tyranny. That's why I first worked on you. First I broke you. First I purified you. First I refined you, so that now, when I give you authority, you use it wisely, with love, with the proper fear of one who knows they will be held accountable for how they used it. You no longer need to live as a victim of circumstances. You no longer need to be swept along by the waves of life. You no longer need to passively accept everything that comes against you. Because I have given you authority. Authority to resist the enemy, authority to rebuke the darkness, authority to speak my word over impossible situations, authority to establish my will. This authority operates through your mouth, through your words, through your decrees. That's why I've taught you to control your tongue. That's why I've trained you to speak with wisdom. That's why I've disciplined you to declare life and not death. Because your words, when anointed with my authority, have creative power. They have transformative power. They have establishing power. What you declare in faith, I establish. What you command in my name, I execute. What you decree in line with my will, I confirm. For I have given you authority to use my name. And my name is above every name. My name has power in heaven, on earth, and under the earth. And when you use my name with authority, with faith, with reverence, things happen, demons tremble. Diseases flee, doors open, mountains move, impossibles become possible. Because it's not you operating in your own strength, it's you operating in my authority. It's you being my representative, it's you being my ambassador, it's you being my spokesperson. This mantle of authority also protects you, it covers you, it guards you, because when you operate in my authority, you operate under my covering, and nothing can touch you without first passing through me. No weapon formed against you will prosper. No tongue that rises against you in judgment will be condemned, because you are covered, you are protected, you are guarded. But you need to learn to use this authority. You need to learn to operate within it. You need to learn to decree with faith. You need to learn to declare with conviction. You need to learn to command boldly, not with arrogance, not with presumption, but with the confidence of someone who knows they are representing the King of Kings. This mantle of authority is not for everyone. It is for those who have gone through the process, for those who have been broken and restored, for those who have been purified and refined, for those who have learned to die to self, for those who seek my glory, not their own. And you are one of them. You went through the fire, you crossed the desert, you endured the dark night. You remained faithful when everything told you to give up. And now I reward you, I honor you, I promote you, I place upon you the mantle of authority. Use it well, use it wisely, use it for my glory. You are a living testimony. Your life speaks louder than your words. Your transformation speaks louder than your sermons. Your example impacts more deeply than your speeches, because people may question what you say, but they cannot deny what you have become. They saw you in the valley. They knew you in crisis. They witnessed your pain. They witnessed your struggle. And now they are seeing your transformation. They are observing your restoration. They are noticing your change, and it makes them question, what happened to this person? Where does this peace come from? Where does this strength come from? Where does this hope come from? And without you needing to preach, without you needing to evangelize, without you needing to convince, your life responds. Your transformation testifies. Your change declares, because you are a living letter, written not with ink, but with my spirit. Read not in pages, but in actions. Known not by words, but by fruits. Your testimony isn't about what you say, it's about how you live. It's not about what you preach, it's about what you practice. It's not about what you declare, it's about what you demonstrate. Because words are cheap, speeches are cheap. But a transformed life, a life that reflects my glory, a life that manifests my character, that is undeniable. People are tired of empty religiosity. They're tired of pretty speeches without corresponding life. They're tired of promises that aren't kept. They're tired of words that don't translate into reality. But when they see a genuinely transformed life, when they witness real change, when they observe true fruits, they pay attention. Your living testimony opens doors that words cannot. Your example creates opportunities that sermons cannot. Your transformed life raises questions that speeches cannot, because people want to see before they believe. They want to witness before they trust. They want to observe fruit before they accept promises. And you are becoming that living testimony. You are becoming that undeniable evidence. You are becoming that visible proof that I transform, that I heal, that I restore, that I make all things new. If you recognize that your transformed life is your greatest testimony and want to impact others through your example, hit like. Your living testimony doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be flawless. It doesn't have to be flawless. Because it's not about you being perfect. It's about you being real. It's about you being authentic. It's about you being transparent about your struggles while demonstrating my faithfulness in the midst of them. People don't connect with perfection. They connect with authenticity. They're not inspired by those who pretend not to have problems. They're inspired by those who face problems with faith. They don't admire those who never fall. They admire those who get up every time they fall. Your living testimony includes your scars. It includes your battles. It includes your falls and your rises, because that's exactly what makes your testimony powerful. It's not that you never went through hardships. It's that you did, and I held you up. It's not that you never fell. It's that you fell, and I lifted you up. It's not that you were never broken. It's that you were broken, and I restored you. And when people see this, when they witness this journey, when they observe this transformation, they find hope. Hope that if I did it for you, I can do it for them. Hope that if I restored you, I can restore them. Hope that if I transformed you, I can transform them. Your living testimony is a bridge between despair and hope, a bridge between doubt and faith, a bridge between darkness and light. Because you've been on both sides, you know pain and you know healing. You've experienced brokenness and you've experienced restoration. You've lived through death and you've lived through resurrection. And now you walk as a living testimony that I am real, that I am faithful, that I transform, that I heal, that I restore, that I do the impossible. Not because you are special, but because I am God. And what I did for you, I can do for anyone who believes, who trusts, who surrenders to me. What's happening in you isn't just for you. It's for your family, it's for your children, it's for your grandchildren, it's for generations yet to be born. Because I don't just work with individuals, I work with lineages, I work with generations, I work with legacies. You are breaking chains that have imprisoned your family for generations. You are tearing down strongholds built over decades. You are breaking cycles of pain, failure, misery, and slavery that have been passed down. From father to son, from grandfather to grandson, from generation to generation. And this stops now. This ends with you. You are the watershed in your lineage. You are the turning point in your family. You are the one through whom I am establishing a new standard, a new foundation, a new direction. Because I chose you for this. I set you apart for this. I prepared you for this. It wasn't by chance that you went through what you went through. It wasn't coincidence that you faced the battles you faced. It wasn't luck that you survived what you survived. It was preparation. It was training. It was forging. Because I was preparing you to be the breaker of chains, the disruptor of cycles, the setter of new standards. And now, everything you've achieved spiritually, everything you've conquered, everything you've overcome, doesn't just stay with you. It passes on to your children. It passes on to your descendants. It passes on to the generations that come after you. They won't have to fight the same battles you fought. They won't have to break the same chains you broke, because you've already done it for them. They will pick up where you left off. They will build on the foundation you laid. They will advance from the position you conquered, because you paid the price. You fought the battle, you won the war, and now they inherit the victory. This is generational impact. This is eternal legacy. This is spiritual inheritance. You're not just living your life. You're writing your family's history. You're determining the destiny of your lineage. You're setting the standard for future generations. If you understand that your transformation impacts generations and want others to break chains too, share this video and be an instrument of liberation. But the generational impact isn't limited to your biological family. It extends to your spiritual family, to the people I will connect with you, to the lives I will touch through you, to the destinies I will transform through your testimony, your example, and your obedience. There will be people who find freedom because you found it first. There will be people who discover their purpose because you discovered yours. There will be people who rise up because you rose up first. You are blazing a trail. You are breaking new ground. You are setting a precedent. And these people, in turn, will impact others. And these others will impact still others. And so, what began within you multiplies, expands, spreads, like ripples in a pond when you throw a stone. The stone lands in one spot, but the ripples reach across the entire surface. You are the stone I am casting, and the ripples of your impact will reach places you will never visit. They will touch lives you will never know. They will transform destinies you will never witness in this life. But in eternity, you will see, you will understand, you will marvel at the scope of what I have done through you. So don't give up, so don't get discouraged, so don't stop halfway. Because it's not just about you. It's about everyone who comes after you. It's about all the lives that will be touched through you. It's about all the generational impact that will be unleashed because of your obedience. You are planting trees under whose shade you may never sit. You are building bridges you may never cross. You are opening doors you may never enter. But others will sit, others will cross, others will enter, and they will be grateful. And I will be glorified. This is the power of generational impact. This is the reach of an eternal legacy. This is the fruit of obedience that transcends time, that spans generations, that endures forever. And you are creating this now. With every choice of obedience, with every step of faith, With every victory achieved, you are impacting generations. I speak to you in ways only you understand. I give you signals that are personal, intimate, and specific to you. I use a language that is unique to us, a communication that doesn't need third-party interpretation because it's direct, clear, and ours. You've been seeing the numbers, you've been noticing the repetitions, you've been noticing the synchronicities, and you wonder if it's coincidence or if it's me. Let me tell you, there are no coincidences in the lives of those who belong to me. There are only confirmations, there are only signs, there is only my hand orchestrating details that seem small but carry profound messages. When you see that specific number repeatedly, it's not a coincidence. When you hear that song exactly when you need it, it's not luck. When you meet that person at the right moment, it's not a coincidence. It's me talking to you, confirming that I'm close, showing that I'm attentive, proving that I'm involved in every detail of your life. I know the language that touches your heart. I know the symbols that speak to your soul. I understand the signs you recognize as mine, and I use them intentionally. I plant these confirmations in your path. I orchestrate these divine encounters. I arrange these celestial synchronicities because I want you to know you're not alone. I want you to know I'm guiding you. I want you to trust that I'm in control. And these intimate signals are my way of whispering to your heart. I'm here. I'm with you. I'm taking care of everything. Other people may not understand your signals. They may find them strange, they may question them, they may even ridicule them, but it doesn't matter, because these signals aren't for them, they're for you. It's our private language, it's our secret code, it's our intimate form of communication. If you have been seeing signs and confirmations that only make sense to you, subscribe to this channel. I will continue to guide you through revelations. When you asked for a specific sign and I gave you exactly that, you knew. When you questioned a decision and I confirmed it for you through 3 different sources without you telling anyone, you knew. When you were in doubt and I showed you exactly what you needed to see, you knew. Because that's how I work with those who truly seek me. I am not a distant God who speaks only through thunder and earthquakes. I am a close Father who whispers, who confirms, who signals. I am the God of details, the God who counts the hairs on your head, the God who knows every thought before you think it, the God who cares about every aspect of your life. And because I care, I confirm, I signal, I show, not because you need signs to believe, but because I love to show you that I am present. Because I delight in confirming my word to you, because I rejoice in giving you assurance when you are in doubt. These intimate signals also protect you. When you feel that internal alert and then see the signal that confirms you should stop, it's my protection. When you have that intuition not to go and then receive confirmation through a signal, it's my guidance. When you're about to make a bad decision and I show you the warning sign, it's my intervention. Learn to recognize your signals. Learn to trust these confirmations. Learn to obey this intimate language we've established. Because the more you acknowledge, the more I reveal. The more you trust, the more I confirm. The more you obey, the more I reveal. Your signals are unique. Your confirmations are personal. Your language with me is private. And that's beautiful. That's special. That's sacred. Because it shows the level of intimacy we have. It shows how much I know you. It shows how much I care. So don't ignore the signs. Don't dismiss the confirmations. Don't question the synchronicities. Receive them as what they are. My way of telling you that I'm here, that I'm with you, that I'm guiding every step, that I'm confirming every decision, that I'm involved in every detail of your life. Because you're mine, and I take care of what's mine. I gave you an inner compass, an infallible guide, an accurate indicator. And this compass is my peace. When you're on the right path, there's peace. When you're making the right decision, there's peace. When you're in the right relationship, there's peace. And when there's no peace, it's because something isn't aligned with my will. Learn to follow peace, not just logic, not just the opinions of others, not just appearances, but peace. The peace that transcends all understanding. The peace that makes no sense to the mind, but calms the heart. The peace that is inexplicable yet undeniable. You may be faced with an opportunity that seems perfect on paper, that makes logical sense, that everyone says you should accept, but if there's no peace, don't go, because I speak through peace, and the absence of peace is my no, it's my warning, it's my red flag. Likewise, you may be faced with a situation that doesn't make sense, that seems risky, that everyone questions. But if there is deep peace in your heart, go, because this peace is my confirmation, it's my yes, it's my green light. It's my way of telling you, trust me, I'm in this, I'm going with you. Peace is not the absence of challenges, it is not the absence of fear, it is not the absence of uncertainty. Peace is the presence of certainty in the midst of uncertainty. It is the presence of calm in the midst of the storm. It is the presence of trust in the midst of the unknown. It is knowing that I am in control even when you don't understand what's happening. When you don't have peace about a decision, wait. Don't force it. Don't rush it. Don't try to convince yourself. Wait until peace comes, because if it is my will, peace will come. If it is not my will, peace will not come, no matter how much you try to manufacture it. If you have already made decisions following peace and saw that it was my direction, write in the comments, I follow peace. Peace also protects you from bad relationships. You may be attracted to someone. There may be chemistry. There may be mutual interest. But if there's no peace, don't move forward, because I see what you don't see. I know what you don't know. And the absence of peace is my way of protecting you from future pain. Peace guides you through difficult conversations. When you need to confront someone, when you need to set boundaries, when you need to say no, if there's peace, do it. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's difficult, even if it might generate conflict, because peace confirms that it's the right time, the right way, the right decision. Peace guides you toward change. When you feel like you need to change jobs, move to another city, or change direction, but you're afraid, look to peace. If there's deep peace despite the fear, it's because I'm calling you to change. If there's no peace, it's because it's not the right time or direction yet. You often confuse peace with comfort, but they are not the same thing. Comfort is staying where it's familiar, where it's safe, where it's known. Peace is knowing I'm with you, even when you leave your comfort zone. You can leave your comfort zone and still have peace. In fact, I often call you to leave your comfort zone, but I give you peace for the journey. Peace is my signature, it is my mark, it is my presence. Where I am, there is peace. Where I am not, there is unrest, there is confusion, there is turbulence. Therefore I say to you, let peace be your compass, let peace be your guide, let peace be your indicator. When you have to choose between two options and both seem good, choose the one that brings you peace. When you have to decide between several paths and all seem possible, choose the one that brings you peace. When you have to determine your next step and there are multiple directions, choose the one that brings you peace. Because peace does not lie, peace does not deceive, peace does not fail. Peace is my silent yet clear voice. It is my gentle yet firm guidance. It is my invisible yet real confirmation. Learn to recognize it. Learn to follow it. Learn to trust it. Because where there is my peace, there is my presence, and where there is my presence, there is my will, and where there is my will, there is your destiny. I have placed my spirit within you, not as a temporary visitor, not as a passing guest, but as a permanent resident, as a constant guide, as an inner counselor. And this spirit that dwells within you guides you, directs you, teaches you, reminds you, alerts you, comforts you. You don't need to rely solely on external voices. You don't need to seek guidance solely outside of yourself. You don't need to wait for someone to tell you what to do, because you have the best counselor living within you. You have direct access to divine wisdom. You have the Spirit of truth dwelling within you. This Spirit speaks, not necessarily with an audible voice, but with impressions, with intuitions, with convictions, with that inner knowing you can't explain but which is real, with that deep certainty that comes not from the mind, but from the Spirit, with that gentle warning that keeps you from going in the wrong direction. Learn to recognize the voice of the Spirit. It's not loud, it's not forced, it's not dramatic, it's soft, it's gentle, it's quiet, but it's firm, it's clear, it's consistent, and the more you listen to it, the more you recognize it. The more you obey, the more clearly it speaks. The Spirit guides you into all truth. When you're confused, it brings clarity. When you're in doubt, it brings certainty. When you're lost, it brings direction. Not magically, not always instantly, but progressively, step by step, step by step. Sometimes the Spirit guides you through a verse that leaps off the page. Sometimes through a word someone speaks without knowing it was meant for you. Sometimes through a dream that carries a message. Sometimes through a door that opens or closes. Sometimes through that still, small voice that whispers within you. The Spirit also warns you. When you're about to make a mistake, it warns you. When you're walking into a trap, it warns you. When you're getting involved with the wrong person, it warns you. Not with condemnation, not with accusation, but with that uneasiness, that discomfort, that lack of peace that makes you stop and reconsider. If you recognize the voice of the Spirit guiding you internally and want to continue growing in this sensitivity, hit like. The Spirit teaches you. He reveals things to you that you would not otherwise learn. He shows you truths that are beyond human knowledge. He gives you understanding that transcends formal education, for He is the Spirit of wisdom and revelation, and He dwells within you. But you need to cultivate this sensitivity to the Spirit. You need to create space to hear it. You need to silence the external noise to capture its inner voice. You need to slow down to perceive its impressions, because it doesn't shout. It doesn't compete with the noise. It waits for you to quiet down, to tune in, to pay attention. When you learn to follow the Spirit, you avoid so many mistakes. You escape so many traps. You make wiser decisions. You walk safer paths. You live with greater peace because you are not navigating life with your own limited wisdom. You are being guided by God's infinite wisdom through the Spirit that dwells within you. The Spirit will never guide you against my word. He will never direct you towards something that contradicts my principles. He will never lead you down paths that dishonor my name, because He is my Spirit. He is aligned with my will. He works in harmony with my word. That is why you can trust Him completely. Don't ignore the Spirit. Don't silence the Spirit. Don't grieve the Spirit. Honor its presence within you. Value its voice. Obey its leading, for it was given to you as a gift, as a helper, as a guide, as a counselor, as a comforter, as a teacher. And the more you walk in the Spirit, the more sensitive you become to Him. The more you obey the Spirit, the more clearly He speaks. The more you honor the Spirit, the more powerfully He works, because He does not force, He does not dominate. He guides those who choose to be guided. He directs those who choose to follow. He teaches those who choose to learn. You have the best guide living within you. Use it, listen to it, follow it, and you will never get lost. Your soul has been compressed, pressed, suffocated, as if you were living in a space too small for the size of your spirit, as if you were breathing with only half your lungs, as if you were living in a reduced version of who you truly are. And I am bringing decompression. Decompression is when the pressure is released, when what was tight is released, when what was compressed can finally expand. And that's what I'm doing in your soul right now. I'm removing the pressures. I'm lightening the burdens. I'm creating space for you to breathe, for you to expand, for you to be who you truly are. You've been living under constant pressure, pressure to perform, pressure to please, pressure to live up to expectations, pressure to be what others expect, pressure to keep up appearances, pressure to not disappoint. And this pressure has compressed your soul, stifled your spirit, and diminished your life. But I'm removing those pressures. I'm breaking those unrealistic expectations. I'm freeing you from the need to be everything to everyone. I'm giving you permission to breathe, to rest, to be human, to have boundaries, to say no, to prioritize what truly matters. Decompressing your soul brings immediate relief. It's like taking off a tight shoe after a long day. It's like loosening your belt after a meal. It's like finally being able to breathe deeply after being in a claustrophobic space. There's a relief, a lightness, a freedom you haven't felt in a long time. You'll feel it. You'll feel the pressure lifting. You'll feel the weight lifting. You'll feel the oppression dissipating, and in its place will come lightness. Freedom will come, space to breathe, space to be, space to live without the constant feeling of being crushed by expectations, demands, and pressures. If you feel your soul is compressed and are ready for divine decompression, write 7,777, declare that you receive heavenly relief. Decompressing your soul also means you no longer have to carry what isn't yours. You've been carrying everyone else's problems. You've been taking on responsibilities that aren't yours. You've been trying to fix what only I can fix. You've been trying to save what only I can save. And this has been compressing your soul, but I'm teaching you to let go, to give me back what's mine to carry, to set healthy boundaries, to say no without guilt, to take care of yourself without selfishness, to recognize that you're human, that you have limits, that you weren't created to be everyone's savior. When your soul decompresses, you dream again, you hope again, you feel joy again. Because compression kills dreams, pressure suffocates hope, weight crushes joy. But when the pressure is removed, when the weight is lifted, when space is created, all of this blossoms again. You will laugh again, not that forced laugh, that social laugh, that polite laugh, but that genuine laugh, the laugh that comes from within, the laugh that is an expression of true joy. Because your soul will no longer be compressed. It will be free. It will be light. It will be expanded. You will feel again, because the compression made you numb. It made you shut down emotionally. It made you build walls to avoid feeling the pain. But I am bringing decompression, and with it comes the ability to feel again, to feel joy, to feel peace, to feel love, to feel hope. Decompression of the soul is a process. It doesn't happen all at once. It's gradual, it's progressive. Layer by layer, pressure by pressure, weight by weight, I remove it. And with each removal, you breathe a little deeper, you feel a little lighter, you live a little freer. So allow the decompression, don't resist it. Don't try to maintain the pressures because you've grown accustomed to them. Don't try to hold on to the weights because you think you need them. Let me remove them. Let me lighten them. Let me create space, because you were created to live expanded, not compressed. To live free, not pressured. To live light, not crushed. The time for you to shrink to fit in is over. The time for you to shrink to fit into spaces that are too small for you is over. The time for you to compress your gifts, reduce your calling, hide your greatness to make others feel comfortable is over. I didn't create you to fit in. I created you to expand. You've been shrinking your whole life. You've made yourself smaller than you are. You've hidden your talents. You've silenced your voice. You've dimmed your light, all to fit in, to be accepted, to not bother, to not threaten, to not cast a shadow. But I didn't call you to live a small life. I called you to live expanded. There are spaces that are too small for you. There are environments that are too limited for your calling. There are relationships that are too restrictive for your growth. And you've tried to squeeze yourself into these spaces, contort yourself to fit, compress yourself to fit in. But it hurts you, it suffocates you, it prevents you from being who you truly are. When you shrink to fit in, you betray yourself, you deny your gifts, you waste your potential, you live a diminished version of the life I planned for you. And that's not humility. Humility isn't making yourself small. Humility is recognizing that the greatness within you comes from me and using it for my glory. I placed greatness in you. I placed ability in you. I placed anointing in you. I placed calling in you. And when you belittle yourself, when you diminish yourself, when you hide, you are not being humble. You are being disobedient, because I commanded you to shine, not to hide. I commanded you to grow, not to shrink. If you're tired of belittling yourself and ready to step into the space God has prepared for you, share this video and inspire others to expand. There are people who will be bothered when you stop bullying yourself. There are people who will feel threatened when you start taking up space. There are people who will prefer you small, controllable, predictable, but you can't live for their comfort. You need to live for the purpose I've given you. And when you stop beating yourself up, you'll discover that the spaces that were too small weren't your spaces. The doors that were too narrow weren't your doors. The spaces that confined you weren't your spaces, because I have bigger spaces for you. I have wider doors for you. I have wider spaces for you. You no longer have to contort yourself to fit in. You no longer have to compress yourself to fit in. You no longer have to diminish yourself to be accepted, because I am taking you to places where you can be fully who you are, where your gifts are celebrated, not tolerated, where your calling is honored, not questioned, where your greatness is recognized, not feared. Squatting is painful. It's like wearing a shoe 3 sizes too small. It's like living in a house where you can't stand up. It's like driving a car where you can't fit. It's uncomfortable. It's limiting. It's suffocating. And you weren't created to live like this. You were created to expand, to grow, to take up space, to use all your gifts, to fulfill your full calling, to live in all the fullness I planned for you. And that's not arrogance. That's not pride. That's obedience. It's honoring what I placed in you. It's being faithful to who I called you to be. So stop belittling yourself. Stop diminishing yourself. Stop hiding. Rise to the height I've given you. Take up the space I've prepared for you. Use the gifts I've placed within you. Fulfill the calling I've placed within you, without apologizing, without justifying yourself, without diminishing yourself. Because the world needs you at your full size, not a reduced version, not a shrunken version, but you, full, expanded, occupying all the space I've destined for you, shining with all the light I've placed within you, operating with all the gifts I've bestowed upon you, living with all the greatness I've planned for you. I am calling you to higher dimensions, to higher levels, to wider territories, to more expanded spheres of influence. What you have lived until now has been preparation. What you have experienced until now has been training. But now I am calling you to the greater, to the deeper, to the wider. You have been operating in one dimension, but there are higher dimensions waiting for you. You have been walking on one level, but there are higher levels calling you. You have occupied a territory, but there are vaster territories destined for you. And the time has come to expand, to ascend, to advance. These larger dimensions aren't just about more. They're not just about bigger. They're about deeper, more impactful, more meaningful. They're about touching lives on a grander scale, about influencing generations, about leaving an eternal legacy, about fulfilling the full purpose I placed within you. I know you feel small for these greater dimensions. I know you feel inadequate for these higher levels. I know you feel unprepared for these broader territories. But it's not about you being big enough. It's about me being big in you. It's not about you being capable. It's about me empowering you. It's not about you being ready. It's about me preparing you on the path. The higher dimensions demand more of you. They demand more faith, more courage, more dependence on me, more death to self, more surrender, more obedience. Because the higher the dimension, the greater the responsibility. The higher the level, the greater the accountability. The broader the territory, the greater the need for character. That's why I prepared you. That's why I refined you. That's why I broke you. That's why I purified you, not to destroy you, but to prepare you for the higher realms, because I can't take you where you're not ready to go. I can't give you what you're not ready to carry. I can't promote you where your character can't sustain you. But now you are ready. Now you have been prepared. Now you have been refined enough. Not perfectly. You will never be perfect in this life, but enough. Broken enough to be used, humble enough to be trusted, surrendered enough to be promoted. The larger dimensions scare you, I know, because they're unknown, because they're challenging, because they take you completely out of your comfort zone. But that's exactly where I operate powerfully. It's in the unknown that you learn to trust me. It's in the challenging that you discover my strength. It's outside your comfort zone that you experience my miracles. In these higher dimensions, you will not be able to rely on your past experience. You will not be able to rely solely on your knowledge. You will not be able to operate in your own strength. You will have to depend on me completely. You will have to seek me constantly. You will have to walk in deep intimacy with me. And that is exactly what I want. Because the higher dimensions aren't just about what you'll do. They're about who you'll become. They're about the level of intimacy you'll develop with me. They're about the depth of dependence you'll cultivate. They're about the spiritual maturity you'll achieve. I'm opening doors to these higher dimensions, doors you never imagined would open, opportunities you never dreamed you'd have, connections you never thought you'd make, platforms you never thought you'd reach. And when these doors open, don't hesitate. Don't back down. Don't disqualify yourself. Step inside. Enter with faith. Enter with courage. Enter with humility. Enter knowing that I will go with you. Enter trusting that I will empower you. Enter believing that I will sustain you. Because I do not call you to what I do not equip you for. I do not send you where I do not go with you. I do not promote you where I do not sustain you. The higher dimensions are your destiny, not your choice, not your possibility, your destiny, because I created you for them. I prepared you for them. I called you to them, and the time has come for you to enter, for you to occupy, for you to possess, not with arrogance, but with the confidence of one who knows they were called, prepared, and sent by me. So answer the call, accept the invitation, ascend to the higher dimensions, and prepare to see what eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, and the human heart has not imagined. For this is what I have prepared for those who love me, who obey me, who respond to my call to the higher dimensions. The work I began in you does not stop, it does not end, it is not completed in this life. Because I am the God who is always working, always transforming, always refining, always taking you from glory to glory, from level to level, from dimension to dimension. And as long as you breathe, I will be working in you. You may think you've arrived, that you've achieved, that you've completed, but I tell you, there's more. There's always more depth, more height, more width, more transformation, more revelation, more of me for you to know, more of you to be transformed, more of my purpose to be fulfilled. Every end is a new beginning. Every arrival is a new starting point. Every achievement is a new platform for the next journey. Because I don't work in cycles that end. I work in spirals that ascend. You can go through the same territory again, but never at the same level. Always higher, always deeper, always more mature. The work that never stops means you can never settle, you can never stagnate, you can never say, I've arrived, I know everything, I've achieved everything. Because the moment you stop growing, you begin to die. The moment you stop learning, you begin to stagnate. The moment you stop being transformed, you begin to harden. But I didn't create you to stagnate. I created you to continually grow, to be constantly transformed, to perpetually advance. And as long as you remain surrendered to me, as long as you remain open to my work, as long as you remain willing to be molded, I will continue working. There will be new layers to peel back, new areas to heal, new levels to reach, new dimensions to explore. Because you are deep, you are complex, you are multidimensional, and I know every layer, every area, every level, every dimension, and I will work on them all. If you want to continue being transformed and receive direction for each new season, hit like and subscribe. The work continues. The work that never stops also means you don't need to be afraid of failure. Because even when you fail, I'm working. Even when you fall, I'm teaching. Even when you make mistakes, I'm refining. Because I use everything. I redeem everything. I transform everything for your good and my glory. You are not an abandoned project. You are not an unfinished work I have given up on. You are not a failed experiment I have discarded. You are my masterpiece in progress. You are my creation continually being perfected. You are my child constantly being transformed into the image of my Son. And I am faithful to complete the work I began. Not because you are faithful, but because I am. Not because you are consistent, but because I am. Not because you never give up, but because I never give up on you. I am the author and finisher. I begin and I finish, and what I begin, I complete. So don't despair when you realize there are still areas for growth. Don't be discouraged when you discover there are still wounds to heal. Don't be frustrated when you recognize there are still patterns to break, because this isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign that the work continues. It's a sign that I'm still working. It's a sign that you're still alive, still growing, still being transformed. The work that never stops is a promise. It's a guarantee. It's a certainty. As long as you're alive, I'll be working. As long as you're breathing, I'll be transforming. As long as you're searching, I'll be revealing, because I don't give up. I don't abandon. I don't leave anything incomplete. And one day, when you stand before me, the work will be complete. You will be fully transformed. You will be fully restored. You will be fully glorified. But until then, until that day, the work continues, and I invite you to cooperate with me, to surrender to the process, to trust the journey. to embrace the ongoing transformation, because each day is a new opportunity for me to work on you. Each morning is a new chapter in the work that never stops. Each moment is a new chance for you to be shaped, refined, transformed. And I don't waste a moment. I use everything. I work on everything. Because the work I began in you doesn't stop until it's complete. Now I declare over you who you truly are, not who you were, not who you thought you were, not who others said you were, but who you are in my eyes, who you were always meant to be, who you have become through this journey of transformation. You are my son, my daughter, not by merit, not by performance, not by perfection, but by adoption, by choice, by love. I chose you, I called you, I adopted you into my family, and nothing can change that, nothing can reverse that, nothing can undo that. You are loved deeply, unconditionally, eternally, not because you are perfect, but because you are mine, not because you never fail, but because I never fail to love you. My love for you does not depend on your performance. It does not fluctuate with your mistakes. It does not diminish with your falls. It is constant. It is steadfast. It is eternal. You are accepted completely, without reservations, without conditions. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to earn anything. You don't need to deserve anything. You are already accepted. You are already welcome. You already have a place at my table, in my home, in my heart. You are valuable, immensely, infinitely, undeniably, not for what you do, but for who you are, not for what you produce, but because you carry my image, not for what you achieve, but because I created you with purpose, with intention, with love. You are powerful, not in your own strength, but in my strength that works within you. You have authority, not by human position, but by spiritual position. You are capable, not by your abilities, but by my enabling, because I dwell in you, because my spirit fills you, because my power clothes you. You are free from the chains of the past, from the prisons of guilt, from the bonds of fear, from the shackles of shame. I have set you free. I have broken your chains. I have opened your prison. And whom the Son sets free is truly free. You are no longer a slave. You are free, free to be, free to live, free to fulfill your destiny. If you receive this statement of identity and recognize who you are in me, write in the comments, I am a son divided by daughter of God. You are called for purpose, for destiny, for greatness. Not the greatness of the world, but the greatness of the kingdom, not for your own glory, but for my glory. You have a unique calling, a specific mission, an irreplaceable purpose, and no one can fulfill what I have called you to fulfill. Only you. You are equipped with gifts, with talents, with anointing, with everything you need to fulfill what I have called you to do. I do not call you without equipping you. I do not send you without empowering you. I do not appoint you without preparing you. You have everything you need, and what you do not yet have, I will give you in due time. You are victorious, not because you never face battles, but because I have already won the war, not because you never fall, but because I always lift you up, not because you are invincible, but because I am, and I am in you. And if I am for you, who can be against you? You are transformed. You are no longer who you were. You have been changed, renewed, restored, recreated. The old has passed away. Behold, all things have become new. And this transformation continues from glory to glory, from strength to strength, from victory to victory. You are mine. This is your fundamental identity, your core truth, your unshakable foundation. You belong to me. You are my treasure, my inheritance, my joy, and I am your Father, your God, your everything. This is your identity, not based on changing feelings, not based on fluctuating circumstances, not based on changing opinions, but based on my word that endures, on my truth that is eternal, on my love that never fails. So when the enemy whispers lies about who you are, declare this truth. When circumstances try to define you, remember this identity. When people try to label you, return to this declaration, because this is the truth. This is who you are. This is your identity in me, and nothing can change that. And now, as this cycle completes, a new one begins. Because with God, there are no absolute endings, only transitions, only passages from one level to another, from one dimension to another, from one glory to another. What ends here is only the beginning of what comes next. You are not the same person who began this journey. You have been transformed. You have been refined. You have been elevated. And now, with all you have learned, all you have achieved, all you have become, you are ready for the next level, for the next phase, for the next dimension. But remember, the next level will require new brokenness. The next phase will bring new challenges. The next dimension will demand greater surrender, because each level has its price. Each phase has its process. Each dimension has its preparation, and I will be with you every step of the way. This is not a goodbye, it's a transition. It's not an end, it's a new beginning. It's not the last chapter, it's the first chapter of the next book. Because the journey with God never ends, it only deepens, it expands, it intensifies. And as you move forward to what comes next, carry with you everything you've learned here, the lessons of the valley, the revelations of the desert, the victories of battles, the healing of wounds, because all of this is the foundation for what's to come. All of this is preparation for the next level. You may feel like you're back where you started, that you're facing similar issues, that you're navigating familiar territory, but make no mistake, you're not in the same place. You're on an upward spiral, traversing the same territory, but at a higher level, with more maturity, with more wisdom, with more anointing. And I continue speaking, I continue guiding, I continue transforming. Because my voice never silences for those with ears to hear. My guidance never ceases for those with eyes to see. My work never stops for those with hearts to receive. So take a deep breath, get ready, because what's next is greater than what's behind. What's before you is more glorious than what's behind you. The next level is higher than the current level. And I'm going with you. I'm going before. I'm going behind. I'm going beside. I'm going within you. This is the end that is a beginning, the closing that is an opening, the conclusion that is an inauguration. And as you prepare for the next cycle, know that I am already there. I have already prepared the path. I have already established the victories. I have already determined the outcome. You just need to walk, trust, obey, and the journey continues. The transformation continues. The story unfolds, because with God, there is always more. There is always something next. There is always something new, and you are ready, prepared, positioned for what comes next.